is up, my Canadian cousins? Welcome back to the channel. I am so excited to be back. I've not posted all summer, and I know some of you have expressed concern or wondered what's going on with the channel or where I've been. And I'm going to be posting a video. I'll drop a link in the description about where I've been, what I've been doing, why I haven't been on, and what my plans are for the channel going forward. So if you are interested, by all means watch. If not, okay. So I was in London this summer. My first time I'd ever been there. I've been to Europe, and I do regret having missed the opportunity, having traveled through France at different points to see some of the Canadian war memorials, especially Vimy Ridge. I enjoyed doing the piece on that immensely. I think it's beautiful. I think it's poignant, and I would love to see it. So, while I was in London, I thought, well, I wanted to see whether there were any Canadian World War II or World War I oriented sites to see. And sure enough, I discovered that there is a war memorial in Green Park right outside of Buckingham Palace. In fact, it's pointing towards the Victoria Monument, and in actuality, it's pointing towards what I learned after I shot the video, is that it is pointing towards Halifax, symbolically as the point of departure for all of the troops that had crossed the Atlantic to help out the mother country during both world wars. And I think it's a very beautiful memorial. I vlogged a little bit on it, and I hope you stay tuned to check it out. It's quite understated. It's reminded me a little bit of the Vietnam War Memorial in Washington, D.C. in the sense that it is understated. It's in the middle of a park and green space, uses a lot of simple, granite tones with interesting angled lines in it. And I think it's wonderful and great. And I'm so glad I took the opportunity to go look at it. It sits right behind what are called the Canada Gate. And if you've ever been to Buckingham Palace, or certainly you've seen it on TV, you know the ornate, beautiful gate out front. It's where, behind which they do the changing of the guard, and you've seen a lot of ceremonial happenings and goings on outside the gate. Well, in the exact style of the gate is a gate that was provided to Britain by Canada, and it represents all of the provinces at the time, and it doesn't forget Newfoundland, which, although wasn't a province at the time and was still a separate British dominion, obviously geographically was adjacent to Canada and provided soldiers during World War I and other wars. I suppose you can tell me, maybe the Crimean War and other wars that Britain was involved with throughout the 19th century, maybe the Boer War. I would love to learn actually more about Canada's involvement in those wars. But in any event, in as much as that I was outside Buckingham Palace, I went to the Canada Gate first. It's a little bit more lighthearted part of this vlog. The more important part to me is then going beyond the gate and looking at the war memorial. So without further ado, my friends, please join me for this vlog, and I will see you on the flip side. Hey folks, it's quite noisy out here. I did not bring a microphone. I did not plan on doing this, so I'll either use this or not, or dub over it. But I'm in London right now, right in front of probably one of the busiest tourist attractions, Buckingham Palace. And that is the Queen Victoria Memorial, if you can see that. Right across from it, in the exact same style as the gates around Buckingham Palace, is the Canada Gate. And I understand that as a tribute and as part of the overarching theme of this memorial to Queen Victoria, Canada gave this gate to the UK as a gift in honor of Queen Victoria. And it's very interesting. I'm going to take a closer up look at it and see what we can see, but I believe that there are the coat of arms of the various provinces. And then beyond in the park, in which the Canada Gate is an entranceway to, Green Park, which was commissioned by King Charles II in the 1660s. Of course, this gate wasn't there in the 1660s, as it is a memorial to Queen Victoria, and I believe it was 1901 that this gate was erected. But there is a Canadian War Memorial, so we're going to check that out in a couple of minutes. Bear with me, my friends. running water is quite peaceful. Although this isn't the most quiet place in the world, we are in the middle of a bustling metropolis with a lot of tourists, so I guess that can't be helped. It's still sort of out of the way of a place of calm. The design is simplistic, poignant. We'll have to look up whether there's specific deeper meaning to the running water downhill, where most of the maple leaves are, not up at the top. I hope the UK is grateful for all the sacrifices that Canadians have made for it. When the mother country has called, from what I've learned, it's never refused to answer the call. This plaque says, "This monument commemorates the nearly 1 million Canadians, almost all volunteers, who served in Britain, the 2 World Wars, and especially the 110,000 Canadians who gave their lives in those wars for their country and for the cause of freedom throughout the world." It was unveiled by Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II in the presence of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, and also their Royal Highnesses the Duke of Edinburgh, York and Kent, the Princess of Wales, the Princess Margaret and Alexandra, and also the Prime Ministers of Canada and the United Kingdom, and thousands of veterans on June 3rd, 1994.